with two TURO host vehicles that were involved with the incidents that happened in Las Vegas and also in New Orleans. What impact does this have for future hosts and guests on the platform? Stay tuned. Hey guys, this is your boy, Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. I hope that you are here to learn things. This is Car Share Genius, where we talk about all different things about the platform Turo, on how to host, what guests should expect, and much, much more. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you can get updates to everything that we talk about. So we're going to go ahead and start into it. So we know about the incidents that happened in New Orleans, and we also know about the incident that happened in Las Vegas. For the ones who are not aware, those were two vehicles that were on the Turo platform that were rented out. And going through the research, looking at everything, they did the background check. Turo did the background check. They did everything they could to make sure that they had people who were supposed to be able to drive the vehicles. Unfortunately, they're not doing what's it called, a psychological test. So that's not happening right there, and you don't see that with taking a driver's test or whatnot. So, with that being said, the CEO of Turo had to go on TV not one time but multiple times. Andre Haddad basically laid out everything about the policy about like the 0.10% rate of any major incidents like this or whatnot. But a lot of folks are trying to say this is good publicity. I would say it's not good publicity because a lot of people are just going to use their imagination and try to figure out how people do that. It could have been anyone. I'm going to tell you, be honest with you. It could have been that they rented the cars on Enterprise. They could have rented the vehicles on the whole platform of Hertz or any of that. But the problem is a lot of people are looking to point fingers, especially when it resulted in deaths in New Orleans. Now, with that in mind, you want to know what does that involve with the host. Now, hosts already dealing with the rating system that we have going on right now, where you have half and half. Some people say they love it, other people say this is not it. That's one thing. And what I say by that is that yes, some people who are just waiting to have a reason to be like, let me drop the platform because I'm not making much money. I'm dealing with these crazy customers. Turos doesn't have my back, and I'm not saying that's what I'm experiencing. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in the groups and what people are talking about, and they're looking for a reason to drop. They say, hey, I'd rather just either put my car as a co-host to another company or just sell this car and get it out of my system and get going. Or you have the other half, you have people who are optimistic and say, hey, this happened. This doesn't stop anything. I'm still making money. And typically, these folks have multiple cars on the platform. They don't have one car on the platform. They have at least 4 or 5 cars at the minimum on a platform, and they are seeing a good return on their investment. As far as the hosts are concerned, I believe, now I don't have any evidence on this, but I believe that there are going to be changes on this. And I'm just going to read what the CEO wrote here because everyone who was a host got this email. It's been a couple of days since the horrific attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas that shocked us all on New Year's Day. We spent these tense, mournful hours investigating, partnering with the law enforcement, and working around the clock to figure out our platform could be misused by perpetrators of such atrocities. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's very long. You'll see it. I'm going to be posting it over here, so you should be seeing it. But I'm just going to sum it up. They're going to say, hey, they went through the checks. They're basically talking about these guys served over at Fort Bragg, military service members. On top of that, nothing was flagged. They didn't see anything flagged, including law enforcement. They didn't see anything to say, hey, this might be a trigger warning right here. And they're stating that with 90 million bookings, spanning over 8.6 billion miles driven through 12 years of operating history, and less than 0.10%, which we talked about, trips ending with a serious incident, such as theft. Turo is basically gonna say, "Hey, our risk score is really good." But with that being said, that they're looking to figure out what they can do to prevent anything like this from happening. Now, they can give you a solution, but I think it's going to be stricter requirements for the guests. So that's what we're talking about. The guests are probably going to have to go through some special check to make sure everything's right. And I don't know, because in my honest opinion, I don't see them doing background checks right now. But that might change. They may say, hey, we need your social security number. We got to see if you got any type of criminal record or whatnot, or they're gonna start looking at your insurance. Again, these things does not say, "Hey, I predict that this person is gonna actually cause a serious incident that's gonna cause people to lose their lives." It's unfortunate that happened. It's very unfortunate. But as far as the platform goes, I think a lot of people don't realize this. There's gonna be competition. Or there is competition, to be exact. That's gonna use this as an opportunity to try to one up Turo. And I know folks like, what do you mean? Like, we're not talking about the traditional car rental because we're not talking about get around. We're not talking about hire car. We're not talking about none of those guys. There's someone out there, an entity that's gonna sit here and say, you know what? Let's go after them right now. Because a lot of people don't know is that Turo is trying to get IPO, meaning that they're trying to get to Wall Street and blow up. And that's where a lot of folks feel like there's disconnect with the CEO, with these new policies that's been put in place. And the only reason they got this set in place to try to make them look good. But with this happening, this may slow things down because anything can happen. I don't think this is just a one and done. There's a lot of stuff going on, but someone's going to be made an example. And typically, what happens with these cases, there's lawsuits involved because they're gonna say, "Hey, we didn't have nothing to do with it," but say, "I lost my life. You're part of the reason that I lost this life. You let this person," because I don't think it's gonna go on the host. The host don't know. The host, only thing we are required to do is get your driver's license, match it up with what we see on the screen on your profile to what it says on your driver's license. That's all we got to do in regards to verification. On the other hand, Turo may have to do an extra step or a few steps in regards to that. Now, I will tell you this, guys. If you're new to this channel, again, if you like what we're talking about here, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Please make sure you do that. It helps me out a lot. I want to get the numbers up so we can really expand. We're going to start doing live. I just got qualified to do lives, so we should be doing a few lives here. We're going to talk about a lot of things in regards to Turo, talking about the vehicles and whatnot. Now, back onto it. Should you be afraid of your car being damaged? No, I'm gonna tell you why, because it's gonna happen anyway. Now, do you think it's gonna happen to what we saw on the news with the explosion, with people getting run over or whatnot? That's rare, okay? It's rare. That's rare that's gonna happen. That happened to me as far as like if that was to happen, we're like, wow, that's shocking. But I don't want people to be thinking, well, that could have been my car, this and that, because a lot of things can happen. There's a lot of variables. But if your car's gonna be in an accident, be accident, yes. I currently have one car that was in an accident back in November, and it's currently being worked on right now to get back on the market. I'm expecting probably 40, maybe 50 days for that car to get back on the market and start making money again. If you have thin skin on this, I do not recommend you doing Turo. But to alleviate that, I want to come back to you with something. If you really looking to really make changes with your life, with your finances, with exactly what you want to have happen in your life, instead of you working a 9 to 5 clock, I actually have a book here called Starting Out on Turo. Starting out with Turo, you can definitely get the steps to lead you on to the right frame of mindset on how to do it. And this is the A to Z on how to do this exactly like I've been doing, making close to 6 figures. Now, on top of that, there's also a full-fledged course. It's an interactive course that you can get. It's called Car Share Genes. You can't miss it because it's the name of the channel. You can go here. This is a video interactive course. This is an A to Z, and this is more in depth than the book itself because this is where I'm interacting with you. I have over 8 hours of knowledge that I'm giving to you in these modules where you know exactly step by step on what I'm doing to succeed with my fleet. And I want you to win like that. I know a lot of people are tired going through this back and forth with their boss, with their job, and then looking to have some type of meaning in their life. Now, this may be for you who say, hey, I really want to quit my job, or this may be for you, hey, I would like to earn a little bit more money. I can clear my debt. I can live in financial freedom. So if you're really looking to make these changes, go ahead and head to the links down below in the description, and you can get access to the book and the course. Again, my name is Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. If you feel like this video made sense to you, go ahead and give a like. Make sure that you subscribe and comment down below because I have questions for you. Where do you see TURO going at in the next year? Not even 5 years. I'm talking about this year, 2025, with this situation. Drop your comments down below. Love to hear from you. Talk to you later, guys. Take care.